All right, welcome back, everybody, for another episode of Dollar Bin Digging. This is the video and article that I do for comicbookinvest.com, where I talk about those books that you can still probably find tucked away in those cheap boxes based off of some of the recent news, rumors, announcements, just fun things going on in the comics, things like that. Just recent things that are making me think of books that you should be out there looking for just for fun. I mean, sometimes you're going to find more valuable books, but a lot of times this is just kind of a scavenger hunt to find some cool books for cheap that relate to some things going on in comics, movies, etc. Hopefully you're still enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Check out our memberships. We're going to have some membership only videos dropping pretty soon. We've got shorts that I want you to check out as well. A lot of fun things happening here on the channel in 2023. So hopefully you're enjoying it. And if you want to see what books I have for you this week for Dollar Bin Digging, just hang on for a few seconds and I will be right back. All right, so first up, one of the books I want to talk about is related to Evil Dead. Yeah, I get it. This picture is creepy. I'm hopefully expecting something as creepy as the original Evil Dead movies. I did love the TV show Ash, versus the Evil Dead that was on Stars. That was a lot of fun. It was funny, over the top, gore, all that kind of stuff. I enjoy it. So this Red Band trailer is giving us more of that to look forward to with Evil Dead. And let's see, there are a few comics you can get out there, actually a bunch of Evil Dead type comics, but one I think you should keep an eye out for that I think gets kind of ignored is that 2008 series out of Dark Horse. So we got this series that's kind of based off of the characters in the original Evil Dead, 4-issue series out of Dark Horse. Look for all 4 of them. If you can find all 4 of them, great. If you can find any, I'd suggest getting any if you can find them for cheap. This is the cover for issue 1. You can see Ash right there, Ash Williams. I really like that cover to issue 3 there, right there in the middle. And these are just some solid comics and some solid covers. So keep an eye out for them. If you find these, you can see online these things can sell for, I don't know, like $3.50 to $10, $7, kind of in that middle kind of range is what they're actually moving for. But if you want to see what people are asking for, it's a little bit more expensive, more in the $15 range for the individual issues, up to $20. And then you can see there's a set of all 4 out there for $50. So, kind of more of the higher asking prices than what you can see is actually moving, but still something you should keep an eye out for just in case. So if you find them in a dollar box, you want to flip them, there's opportunities there, or you find yourself a pretty cool series for cheap just to add to your collection. Once again, scavenger hunt is more the angle I'm taking. So if you want to go look for some fun books based off of some of this stuff, that's what I'm trying to give you here. Up next, we do have Agatha. So Agatha Harkness, her show, it will be coming to Disney Plus, I guess maybe next year. Filming's not going to start until later this month, but we're getting announcements of some more returns from characters from WandaVision. Leads us to wonder, are we going to get Wanda back? I don't know. Maybe. Are we going to see her kids, most particularly Wiccan? Possibly. I don't know. But the idea here is that I think with Agatha, and as well received as Werewolf by Night was, and we're in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness even, we're getting more horror elements being brought into the fold, into the Marvel Universe, the cinematic universe, I guess, we'll say. And they're probably going to be a little corner. We got Blade coming. We know that's on the way. There's a lot more opportunities for Marvel horror. With that said, I had this series planned for Hidden Gems, but you know what? It still kind of fits here because you can look for it in the dollar bins. I'm not saying you're going to find it. It could be tough. But going back to, I think it's like 97, 98, the Supernaturals. This Marvel series is one that if you could find any of these, there's 4 issues. Once again, I'd say grab them. Just like the Evil Deads. I know we're doing a little bit of a horror start here for Dollar Bin this week, but just kind of fun stuff. But you can see this team's got Ghost Rider and Jack-O-Lantern, I think Satana, Werewolf by Night. A lot of classic horror type characters are in this run. And I'm not saying they're going to adapt this, but I just think this is a fun series. And it actually does pretty well if you can find it. That was issue 1. Here's issue 2, 3, and 4. You can see even classics like Frankenstein and Dracula even show up in this thing. So who knows where the Marvel Universe is going to take their horror stuff. I mean, we did get the classic stuff with Werewolf by Night. We may get more of that. I don't know. It's possible. But if you can find any of these, like I said, they do all right already. Sets are selling like anywhere between $30 to $45, and then we're looking at individual sales for issues in like $20 to $30. There's some best offers accepted as well. But solid returns if you can find any of these 4 issues, really. And the asking prices are kind of in that same range where you can get them as cheap as like $10, some $20, and then all 4 are looking at $75 as far as asking prices go. So once again, if you can find any of this set, I'd keep an eye out for it. And while you're looking, there's also a B cover to issue 1, which sells for a ton and is not easy to find. I considered putting this again in hidden gems. I could even put this one in ghosts because this one doesn't show up often, and when it does, it's pretty expensive. This is the cover B to Supernatural's #1, and this is Greg Capullo. So early Capullo work here. Pretty cool stuff. You can see the Spawn vibes there in what he's doing. So you can see that kind of connection there. And this book, none have sold recently that I can give you a price on, but I'll tell you, the asking prices on the ones I found were pretty steep. If you look at some of these, $3,000, $1,500, $2,500 raw, $7,000 for a 9.8. Yeah, that's what I said, $7,000. So I'm not saying again you're going to find it, but just be aware of this. You never know. You never know sometimes what you'll find in a box. And this is one of those oddball things like a lot of even dealers would probably overlook because it's not the most well-known of books. So this is the oddball kind of stuff I like looking for. And who knows, maybe you get lucky. Also, any of this stuff that you find, tag me on Instagram. I love seeing when you guys find stuff. Give me some suggestions, some ideas. Let me know some big scores you guys have found in those cheap boxes. Again, I love seeing it. I love comics. I love talking comics. So feel free to reach out. Send me a direct message even. I'm up for it. That's it. Moving on to our next topic. Tied into some of the news I mentioned on the TAC show yesterday, we are getting Flash, the final season, season 9. It's coming. It's coming in, I think, just a couple of weeks or a couple months. February? I'd say it's February. But we know that we're going to get Stephen Amell returning as Arrow. I don't know how they're going to do it, but he's going to be returning for the final season. They're kind of saying goodbye to the whole CW universe of these superheroes, the DC heroes, I think, for the most part. So it's kind of nice that Amell will be coming back to kind of see that send off, at least with Flash, because they were the kind of cornerstones of this whole thing early on. So it would be fun to see these two again. And I just think it just reminds me of those adaptations. There's those 2 12-issue runs. Again, keep an eye out for them. They're not all worth a ton. You can get them for a few bucks here or there, but just keep an eye out for them because I think they're just kind of fun to grab. A little piece of history, even. We'll think of these like in 10, 20 years. Like, oh man, remember that Arrow show? Remember that Flash show? So this is the first run of Arrow, the adaptation of the CW show. I think they did another series of like season 2.5 or something that took place between a couple of seasons. But this is the first run. So this is the type of thing. The whole set, you're not seeing a lot of individual sales online these days, but the whole set, you can see one bid, $35 for all 12 issues. Ain't too bad. I mean, again, this is stuff if you can find it at a dollar bin. So if you find it at a dollar bin, that's $12 you get for the whole series if you find it. Let's just say. So $35 ain't a bad return for that. And asking prices, again, it's not terrible. It's like $10, $15 for that first issue. And then you can see the art version, special edition, so it doesn't have the photo cover. It's also right around that $10 kind of mark. So it's not super duper expensive, but if you find it in a cheap box, a dollar box, could be worth your time. No, just throwing that out there. And you might as well look again, since it's the Flash show, should probably be looking for Flash as well. This is Flash season 0. Also sells more in that kind of like group a lot. So if you can build a lot, you can build a set, great. And that might be the best way for you to move it if you want to try to sell it or flip it. So you can see here, $25 for this whole set. I know it's a lot of work, $25 for 12 issues, but maybe you find them even cheaper. Maybe you get them, quarter box, 50 cents. I don't know. Wherever you find your cheap stuff, maybe you look into more than one. Or maybe you find like a partial lots and you can piece something together for cheap. That said, asking prices, again, it could be as cheap as like $5 for that issue 1 for this season 0, or the asking price right now is like $35 for the whole run. So Arrow does a little bit better than the Flash, but that might change as more excitement comes with this final season of the Flash. We'll see. Who knows? But sticking with the DC universe, and we know we're getting some characters back in that Flash show. Diggle, I think, is returning as well. And just thinking of Diggle, who also played a Green Lantern, let's go over to comics, because in the comics, we got some recent updates as well with John Stewart, who Diggle sort of played. It was weird. I know. CW universe kind of strange. But DC teases the return of a major Green Lantern character from the past. Long dead. Long dead. And they were talking about his wife, John Stewart's wife. So in the recent John Stewart, the Emerald Knight from DC, here we get this tease right here at the end that John Stewart's going to go find his wife. Now, she passed away quite a while ago in the comic books, so I guess they're bringing her back. And the character I'm talking about is, if I say her name right, hopefully, Katma Toy? I don't know, but there she is. She is of Sinestro's race. I can't remember what they're called, but same race as Sinestro. She was an early Green Lantern. I mean, her first appearance, again, you're not going to find in a dollar bin. It goes all the way back to Green Lantern number 30. So you're not going to be looking for that, per se, in a dollar box. But what you might find, as you find some of those old Green Lanterns just tucked away in those boxes, you might be able to find the issue where they get married. You know, it's kind of fun. I mean, he's talking about his wife. Why not look for the issue where these two, tie the knot? And that's Green Lantern Corps 212. And you can see here, right in the beginning, right at the start of this issue, wedding bells, they're getting married. It's big news. It's big news for the Corps. So, this is one you might be able to find. And it does okay. It does okay. I mean, it's not a super mega key or anything, but you can see copies can sell for anywhere as cheap as like $2 up to like $10. And then asking prices, again, there's a wide range, anywhere between $3 to like $10. There's graded copies. It's really condition sensitive. It's not an expensive book. I'm not saying it should be an expensive book. I'm just saying this is kind of a fun book for you to go and look. If you're reading Green Lantern, you're reading John Stewart, and you want to kind of tie back to that history of what's going on in the comic right now. He's looking for his wife. Why not go find the issue where he got married? Yeah. Or she's been gone a while. Why not look for the issue where she died? And that was in this Action Comics Weekly. I think they were calling it Weekly at the time. Action Comics 601. So in this issue of Action Comics, it's kind of almost like an anthology. There's a few stories in here. In the one story, we have Green Lantern. You could see that there's his wife, what was her name? Katma Tui, whatever. So Star Sapphire basically kills her. Just she says you'll do, and then boom, right there. I mean, that's a pretty gruesome, like walking away kind of image. That should send her a message. Like she killed her to send a message, and I don't know, it's kind of messed up. But if you want this issue, go look for it. Could be a fun thing to find. I know there's a lot of Action Comics buried in those boxes, and it's not a super duper expensive book. You can see here it only sells for like $2 to like $8, so you can probably find it. Again, just a fun thing to go look for. Even asking prices online are as low as $1.19 and more up to like $7. So again, not an expensive issue, not like a mega key in any way like that, but it's just a fun thing for you to go out there and find. Again, you want to tie into things going on in the comics, you're reading, you want to support your reading, kind of expand the storyline, go check out some of these stories and some of these issues that tie into this stuff, because you can find them, and you can find them for, again, cheap in most cases. And this isn't just for DC. This could also be done for Marvel, and you can go back and catch up on things like here. We're going to go over to Marvel for a minute and talk about some things that just got revealed in the comics. So if you're reading Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings, I think it's what it's called. They've redone that series a few times now, so with those 10 rings and whatnot. But the new villain, that's a shocking secret that ties into a little bit of the more recent history. Can't even say history, because this series is really kind of, or the characters kind of been rebuilt and kind of reimagined since like 2020. And that's what we're going to look at in a second. But here, this is the recent issue 6, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. Pretty cool cover, him walking away. But in this issue, we get the reveal that this big bad here is actually his sister. This is actually his sister. I know you're looking at it like his sister. Yeah, well, it's his sister. This is Sister Hammer. You can see here. There she is. Shihua. I don't know. I'm not going to butcher the name, but Sister Hammer. I'm just going to call her that because it's easy for me to pronounce. She first appeared in that I don't want to say restart, but kind of restart. I mean, they were trying to tie in more with the movie that they were coming up on, and this came out in 2020, issue 1. So Shang-Chi. It's not the Master of Kung Fu. I do love that classic series, but this is the reimagined Shang-Chi that just came out in the last couple of years. This is I think this is the cover A. There's a couple of covers on this thing. We also have this cover, which was, I think, the hotter cover at the time, which I think is the C cover technically. And you can see Sister Hammer there is on the front. And I think she's also on the cover of the second print of this issue. So if you find that, keep an eye out for it too. That said, sold copies, this thing sells for like $9, eight to $9, let's just say. And asking prices are in that same kind of range. So again, it's not an expensive book. It's one you might be able to find in overstock boxes, might be jammed into those dollar boxes. You can see here, there's a second print at the top for $8. You got this C cover here for $7.50, and then you have the cover A there also for like $9. $9 is really the price for this thing. It's pretty consistent, no matter the cover that you get. So just something fun to look for. And who knows where we're going to go. More of these characters might be brought back in. Maybe we see them introduced into the films. Possible. I don't know. But they seem to be supporting the characters, at least in the comics, in these recent runs. So they're making use of them, and they're not one and done type. Never see them again. So it's nice when they bring things back. So once again, if you're reading the current title, you missed out, go back. Maybe you could find this and supplement your stories with that extra little bit of a tail for cheap. Like I said, go looking for cheap. I'm not telling you go pay market prices for any of this stuff. I'm telling you just go look and see if you can find it in those dollar boxes, those cheap boxes, just for kind of fun. Because I love digging in the boxes too. And while you're looking for those big scores, you're looking for your New Mutants 98s and your ASM 300s that you're hoping to find for super duper cheap at the flea market or wherever you're doing some of your random digging. Keep an eye out for this oddball stuff too. That's the idea. I'm just trying to give you some ideas, some more stuff. I mean, I've been doing this series over 200 articles now. I think we're at 221 or something like that. So I've run through a whole bunch of books already. Try not to duplicate efforts and tell you about books again, but sometimes I'm going to. But that said, I'm going to move on. We got one more, I think, for you guys, and it's going to tie into Invincible. Because, again, they're giving us an update that we're going to get some Invincible news soon. It says in January, so sometime in the next couple of weeks, we'll get a more concrete answer to when are we getting season 2. I can't wait for this personally. I thought it was great the first season, and I'm really looking forward to it. Now, that said, you're probably not going to find many of those early issues of like Invincible, a lot of the first appearances and what have you, in those dollar boxes. And that's kind of where we're at in the storyline. The storyline of the animated show, we're still very early. So if you're trying to buy books tied to that, it's going to cost you. You're probably not going to find $1 bins these days. So, I mean, at best, maybe you find near the end of the run, the issues after 100, maybe. But that's not what I'm telling you to look for. Something I feel like I've not passed it. Well, I have passed over, but I've grabbed it a couple of times in those boxes. And something you might want to think about are those secondary titles. So they're having a lot of success with Invincible. Maybe they eventually end up spinning off Adam Eve. She had a big role so far in the show. I think she's going to continue to have a role. Maybe they decide to do some sort of special, a little bit of a spin-off of her own. So let's keep an eye out for this as well. So this is her first little spin-off. I think she had another one with what's his name? I can't think of his name. The Exploding Dude. Anyway, this series is only 2 issues. So the Invincible presents Adam Eve. It's just 2 issues. Like I said, they're not terribly hard to find. I found them many times. Sometimes find them in cheap boxes, and they actually do all right if you can find them for cheap. Here's the 2 covers. But when you look at it, these things can sell for like $15, $12. That's not terrible for something you might be able to find in a dollar bin, right? And then the asking prices again, anywhere from like $12 to $15. And you see sets or the 2 issues together, like $25 thereabouts. So it's not a terrible thing to find if you can find these for like $1 or in the cheap boxes. I don't know, there could be $2 boxes these days with inflation. There are not as many dollar bins out there as there used to be. So again, this is just a cheap comic book hunting set of books to just see if you find it. Again, I'm not trying to create FOMO, and I'm trying to get you out there to go chase these things and pay market prices. This is just some oddball things that I think you might be able to find out there, and I've found out there in some cases. And you just go out there looking. Let's go have some fun. Let's go digging, and this hobby should be fun. And hopefully you're still enjoying it. And hopefully you're still having fun watching these videos and checking out these comics and joining me in the live chat when I premiere the video, because I'm always up again talk comics because I love this stuff. And thanks for stopping by, checking this out. Go check out the article on comicbookinvest.com tomorrow. I'll put a little bit of notes and things that come to mind that I might not have just spouted off the dome as I do the video, but go check that out as well. So with that, still got more stuff coming your way for 2023. I got a lot of ideas. We got some new shows potentially coming. A lot of my friends got new ideas. We'll see. You let us know more of the things you want to see, but otherwise, try out some of the stuff that we're throwing your way and give us your honest feedback. At least I'm looking for your honest feedback. I don't want to speak for everybody else. Somebody might just want you to pat them on the back, but me, just be honest. Tell me what you think. What do you want to see more of? What could I do better? If you like these ideas, or you think they're dumb, are they too repetitive, or are all these shows too much the same? Do I need to mix things up a little bit more? You guys let me know. And like I said, I'll see what I can do to accommodate, because I love this stuff. I love a wide range of stuff, from toys to video games, to pop culture, to the comics, to the movies, television. I love it all. So I'm down to talk whatever you guys want to talk about and want to see. So, like I said, let me know. And with that, enough dilly dallying. I'll see you guys. Um, I'll probably see you on Sunday for the Star Wars show, but make sure you go and check out Mail Call Madness tomorrow on Friday. Dom and Jedi got a new show for you. SNS Live interview. Cliff Chang, artist, Paper Girls, Wonder Woman, Catwoman, a bunch of stuff. Should be a lot of fun. Yes, interview. Saturday night special. Make sure you come. Stop by at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and they run for a little bit. And then, like I said, Sunday is when I'll be back on the Tales from the Dark Side Star Wars show. And then come Monday, we'll start the week again. Hidden Gems back for you in its normal spot. Probably have another Chasing Ghosts for you, the tax show on Wednesday, and then another Dollar Bin Digging. And yeah, so that's the lineup so far. Like I said, I'm going to play with it. I'm going to play with it a little bit. I'm going to have some shorts dropping here and there. Plan to do some stuff with toys. Got a few other ideas, some things I want to try out. So, like I said, hopefully you're on board. And I guess I'll see you guys later with some more content. All right.